Late Wednesday, just last week, criminals targeted Conor McGregor's freshly rebuilt Dublin bar with a petrol bomb, but no one was injured and no damage was done to the building. This shocked everyone, especially the MMA UFC community and those following McGregor. So, what happened? Well, stay tuned for all the inside details. Conor McGregor's pub targeted with bombs. Here's everything you need to know. We all know who Conor McGregor is, and you either love him or hate him. However, it appears some really hate the UFC legend enough to target his Dublin pub with a bomb. Yes, you heard that correct, a bomb. Petrol bombs were thrown at Conor McGregor's £2 million Dublin pub overnight, hours after it was believed the UFC star was inside. The attack at the Black Forge Inn bar, which was possibly carried out by two guys on motorbikes, is being investigated by police. They're also looking into reports that pipe bombs were placed on the scene. McGregor, age 33, a Dublin native, purchased a venue on Drumnig Road in Crumlin, a southern suburb of Dublin, in 2019. Garda today sought for witnesses and dashcam footage taken near the bar overnight, but claimed no damage had been done to the shuttered establishment. Two males were seen on scooters near the pub before the alleged attempted blast, according to press reports. It's possible the assailants mistook Gregor, who was hosting a taste testing event at the venue the night before, for someone else. There were two people allegedly spotted on scooters who passed the establishment at the time, and the next thing they were being chased by two others who had come out of the property, close sources told the Irish outlet. The attackers most likely assumed the UFC star would be inside. It looks that the criminals made an unsolicited attempt to inflict harm on the Black Forge Inn after hours last night, said a representative for the pub. No patrons, workers, or the Forge were harmed, and Mr. McGregor was not on the premises at the time of the event. An ongoing investigation has been launched by the Garda investigating the incident. It's good to hear that no one was seriously hurt in this sudden random attack. Reports from those at the scene allege two petrol bombs, often known as Molotov cocktails, were thrown at the pub, with two more supposedly found nearby. The motive for Tuesday night's alleged attack on the Black Forge Inn is unknown, although it could be linked to a 2017 pub brawl involving McGregor and a member of a major Irish crime group. Fears of retaliation arose after McGregor attacked a relative of Graham, the Wig Whalen, a top member of the dreaded Kinahan heroin organization. The Kinahan mob is thought to be Ireland's largest cocaine importers, and it has been involved in a bloody war with members of the rival Hutch group that has cost 11 lives so far. A second feud between members of the Crumlin-based Kinahan mob and another group in Drumnig have claimed the lives of 16 more people, so you can see they are a truly feared gang or mob. Definitely people you don't want to mess with, let alone physically attack. We all know McGregor doesn't always think things through before he reacts, but this is definitely not his smartest move. There will no doubt be more information regarding this crazy situation, so watch this space to find out more updates in the near future. Conor McGregor slams former UFC champ Henry Cejudo. Just last week, Conor McGregor decided to take a dig at Henry Cejudo. Throughout their successful careers, McGregor and Cejudo have both established themselves as simultaneous two-division champions in the UFC. The Notorious used social media to launch his first jab at Cejudo, which of course Cejudo responded to. McGregor described Henry Cejudo as a little fart. Cejudo quickly retaliated with a split screen of McGregor getting choked by Khabib Nurmagomedov, referring to McGregor as a double chump and himself as a double champ. Ouch, we know McGregor didn't like that. Cejudo didn't stop there, as he attempted a second time to attract the attention of the sport's biggest star. Cejudo, a former flyweight and bantamweight champion, has been making headlines recently due to a spat with UFC boss Dana White. Cejudo raised his hand to become the first three-division champion in UFC history, but Max Holloway unfortunately was forced to withdraw from his planned trilogy fight against featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski. You may be wondering, where did all this stem from? Why was McGregor calling out Cejudo? Well, it all comes from the early feud between Cejudo and UFC president Dana White over the bout he wanted with featherweight champ Volkanovski. Henry Cejudo, the former UFC bantamweight champion, who also held gold at 125 pounds, was back in the spotlight this week after asking company president Dana White for a chance to try and take home yet another title, this time in the featherweight division. White had no qualms about shutting him down. In response to Cejudo, White quickly fired back, "You don't just pop up and start calling somebody names and think that you're going to get a title shot in a different weight class when you've been retired for what, 2.5 years? Even with the next 145-pound title bout going to the Korean Zombie at UFC 273, Cejudo continued his social media campaign because Triple C quickly found that retirement can be boring. After being sidelined in 2020, Dana White believes Henry Cejudo hasn't earned the right to return to the ring, let alone get a title shot. Do you think Henry Cejudo will still unretire after being denied a bout against Alex Volkanovski? And if so, who may tempt him back into the cage? Cejudo will almost certainly have to earn his way back to the top if he wants to try to get another UFC title under his belt. This restriction does not apply to McGregor, who is in the running for another lightweight title opportunity once he recovers from his leg injury, one of the rewards of being the most popular fighter in the world of mixed martial arts. Volkanovski is laughing following Giga Chikadze's recent defeat. Here's why. If you haven't already heard, with his loss to Calvin Kattar at UFC Vegas 46 on Saturday, Alexander Volkanovski hopes Giga Chikadze learned a lesson about respect. After agreeing to defend his UFC featherweight title against late replacement Chan Sung Jung ahead of UFC Vegas 46, Volkanovski was the subject of Chikadze's wrath last week. Chikadze slammed the incumbent champion for taking the easy way out by fighting Jung, declaring Volkanovski to be the simplest battle in the top 10. Chikadze also chastised the UFC for delaying to schedule a replacement until after the Kattar fight, implying that he'd be able to defeat Kattar and then immediately turn around for a title fight. Of course, that didn't happen. At UFC Vegas 46, Chikadze suffered a lopsided defeat, and Volkanovski can't help but smile as he watches the Georgian eat his words. Look, there's going to be people that are going to trash talk and all that. It's a part of the game. We understand that. But there's other sides to it, Volkanovski explained Monday on the MMA Hour. And then there was real disrespect, not only to me, but to Calvin Kattar as well. You've got a man, a top contender in front of you, and you're acting like you're just going to walk through this guy. The featherweight champ continued, it's simply disrespecting everyone by attempting to say you're taking the easy path and then disrespecting Zombie like he did. Chikadze's abrasive demeanor particularly irritated Volkanovski, who had previously spoken with the former kickboxer and found him to be a nice guy. For what it's worth, Chikadze's demeanor didn't change much after his humiliating defeat against Kattar. In his initial post-fight statements, he went back on the offensive against Young, even declaring that if the two fought again, he'd beat Kattar 9 times out of 10. The whole situation isn't complicated for Volkanovski. Chikadze simply hasn't earned the right to call himself that yet because he wants to fight the greatest of the best. So when Chikadze accuses him of being terrified for the entire build-up to UFC Vegas 46, the champion can't help but bristle. After his scheduled opponent Max Holloway withdrew due to injury, Volkanovski will face Jung on April 9th at UFC 273 in Las Vegas. Even if Chikadze had kept his word and gotten past Kattar, Volkanovski believes he wouldn't have been the most deserving candidate to take Holloway's place. There's just endless drama within the UFC recently, so we bet there is still more to come. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Conor McGregor and the recent attack on his Dublin pub. Additionally, we also touched upon the recent feud between McGregor and Henry Cejudo, all surrounding Cejudo wanting to get in the ring with current featherweight champ Alex Volkanovski, and why Volkanovski is probably laughing following Chikadze's defeat against Calvin Kattar. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching!